Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle up.
Good Sunday morning, everybody. So I just got this done. This had 3 of these long-ass rusty bolts in there. Connecting it to the door right here. Yeah, there ain't really no room to get in there. It's a pain. I hate changing these. But, see how it's welded to the body? So I had to unbolt it from the door and get my old trusty Sawzall in here to pull it. Now, the problem that I'm seeing is, I mean, it's the same damn hinge. It looks like it's the bottom. I couldn't get the bottom one broke loose, so I grabbed this top one. And on my Jeep, the top hinge on this side, I tried everything in the world to knock this damn pin out. And I could not get it. So hopefully I can take this thing home and put it in my vise and heat it like here and here with my torch. And maybe get it to pop loose. Yeah, I can turn, when I turn it, that pin don't move. So, but that was a clean cut with my old Sawzall. But I was prepared. I had the Sawzall, a good metal blade, the grinder, the drill, some cutoff disc. I was determined. Hey, look at this here. I don't even know where that come from. But I need this bottom trim piece of dash here. And just like myself, some idiot drilled holes in this one. And I'd really like this one. It's like a dark color. But I kind of need that. And my wife has done scoured this junkyard, because it's got to be a 96 or older. And she done scoured while I was getting them bolts out. And she says she ain't found any good ones. And I don't even know why I'm looking at this Jeep Commander here, but hey, it never hurts to dig through cars. I mean, usually worst case scenario, you find a little change in here. Oh wow, check that out. It's got like little double moon roofs. Kind of cool. I never seen that before. But then again, I've never actually told anybody or myself that I wanted to go out riding in a Jeep Commander, so that would be why. But anyway, guys, which I like this. This is a 95, and somebody put a newer, they put a 97 newer fender, header panel, and no, that's just the other fender, but that's kind of weird. What'd you say, babe?
I said there's a condom.
It ain't been used. The wife pointed out a condom on the ground. Either it ain't been used or somebody's pretty small. I wonder how they got this. I kind of need this for my black Jeep. The one of my black Jeeps had aftermarket one that's like bumped up here. Oh, wow. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get off here and check this out. I took it. Yeah, since they had that on the wrong vehicle, there was only like 3 bolts that line up that would actually hold it. So I got it. I had my morning pop the top. And now we are at Dunkin' Donuts. I prefer Starbucks, but we're in the town of Conway and they don't have a Starbucks anywhere close. And I actually wanted a breakfast sandwich and coffee, so I'll drink that. But I got my hinge, so I'm gonna go home, try to get that pin out of that hinge. Once I get it out, I'll be golden. So yeah, anyway, that's all I got for now. I'm gonna eat breakfast, drink coffee, get the wife. She had to go into Starbucks because I got all my tools in here and that back window is not tinted. So anyway, guys, I'll be back in a little bit. Since my vise ain't mounted, well, I had the wife hold this hinge assembly by this end over the vise.
While holding the vise.
And she had to kind of hold the back of the vise down. But she had these vice grips on it. This pin, it's hot. It went up through the bottom, so I had to punch on the top. I heated it really good with this torch. And guys, I whacked on that thing hard with a decent sized hammer and this punch. I didn't think it was ever going to break loose. And I just kept beating and beating and beating. And finally it broke loose. But I see the knurls at the bottom. Come on, iPhone, zoom in. There you go.
The teeth.
Yeah, I seen them knurls at the bottom. And finally, all at once, it just like moved a little bit. And I kept beating the punch. And it went down pretty good. Reason the punch was in here is I beat the punch down to where it kind of got like stuck in there a little bit. And, you know, we had to vice grip the pin out the top and the punch was in the bottom or vice versa, whatever. But like this here, ooh, that was the ones that had the...
They're still warm.
Yeah, they're still hot. But this is the piece I broke. And I think I broke it right there where it makes this sharp turn. But anyway, that's the piece I needed. And I've went through heck today to get it. It shouldn't be that bad on my Jeep because this dang pin on my bottom hinge on that side, that pin was like almost all the way out at one point. And I actually, you know, they go in through the bottom. And I had actually flipped mine over in there and put it in through the top when I put those doors on. So my pin should come right out, hopefully. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to let this cool down. And I'm going to come back when I actually get out there and start working on that. But I figured I'd just give y'all an update. And it's just crazy that I had to cut this side off at Pick and Pull. But that, believe it or not, I don't know if I had just a really good blade because I was using a new blade. But my Sawzall just ripped right through this thing. Like, I was impressed at how quick my Sawzall cut that in half. But anyway, guys, you know, this ain't really a base-related video. The only way that this ties into base at all is if there's some slim chance that my base broke that hinge. I don't know. Like, I never had problem with it before, but hell, anything could happen, or it could just be wear and tear on the old Jeep, and them are still hot. And they must have been laying around somewhere when I Raptor lined the Jeep. They got Raptor liner on them. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'm going to take a quick little break, let this cool down, and I'm going to get out there and start pulling the hinge off. I'm in here. This is the broke hinge. And apparently it's been welded on. But I just got underneath, smacked this pin, just give it a little tap with a hammer. And I mean, you can see it's moving. I just can't get my hand in there to get it. But see that bad boy? It just jumped up. And it fell back down. That's how loose my bottom pin is. I told you guys, they go in upside down. And it fell. I mean, it was out like down to here when I changed these doors. And I just stuck it back in through the top. But anyway, I'm going to take these bolts out. It should be really easy in here because I just put them in. And then I'm going to get this hinge swapped out the best I can, guys. Wiggle that door a little bit, babe. See where it ain't touching the hinge at all? It's broke. All right, I'll be back later. Amigos. Oh, there's the pin. The knurls on it are about wore out, but I'm going to reuse it. There's part of the hinge. Part of the hinge. Part of the hinge. And that would be my hinge spacer. I don't know what the heck I got going on up here, but my spacer is half out up here. I don't earn my shim. I had 2 shims up there. I had none in the bottom, apparently. But that part of the hinge is good. And see, that's why I was showing you earlier. I just stuck my Sawzall in there at the junkyard and whacked that one off. So, it probably took me like 10 minutes to get this far. Not bad, because these screws here had been out, like I said, these are black, so they actually came with the doors. That's how I can tell. They were a little, like, rough. They didn't want a free screw out, so I'm going to spray them down with a little lube when I put them back in. and hopefully they go in really smooth. But yep, that's the broken hinge in all of its glory. So I'm gonna see if my other hinge that I just got is cooled down, and we gotta do the old swapperoonie. But I don't know, let's see. Broken hinge, yeah, it's cooled down. So, yep, gonna try to put this bad boy in. All right, I'll be back later with like some kind of update. So, man, I got that hinge on. I got the pin in, all the way in. It wouldn't go from the top down. I actually had to go from the bottom up. I guess the knurls and that bottom part of the hinge itself was literally made that way. So that's kind of what I had to do, but I got it in. And then I had to readjust the damn door. The whole door. Like top and bottom, I had to readjust. And wound up pulling one of the shims out of the top. Because after I got the new hinge on and the pin all the way in, it had basically dropped the door down where it didn't line up with the striker anymore. So I had to go back, pull a shim out of the top, which lifts the door, the back of the door up. And then I went ahead and went over and readjusted the driver door, because the bottom seemed like it was pushed out a little too far like that, you know. So I got that done. And then I'm like, hell, I'm tired of working on the Jeeps out in direct sunlight. My buddy Billy's loading subs in the F-150 today, or as he calls it, the F-160. The big build that you guys have seen on here. And since a lot of you guys ask about updates on that build, me and Deb, we're doing the 30-minute drive, or 45 from my house to his house. And yeah, we got Doggo there.
He's laying in the
You
floorboard.
can see him, yeah, right there. Solomon, see, there you go. So yeah, we're like, what the hell? You know, it's like 3:19 right now, but we was creeping up on that 3 o'clock mark. And there wasn't a lot we could do, being that it, you know, got that late in the day, because I actually had to start out today at Pick and Pull, the Junkyard.
And we slept in.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I slept in today. But sleeping in, going to Pick and Pull, then stopping and grabbing breakfast, then changing out that door hinge, readjusting the doors. I had to tighten up both of my door mirrors on the Jeep. Yeah, they were already loose, so I'm like, what the hell? I called Billy earlier and he was loading subs, so let's go get an update on what he's got going on. So I'll be back when we get there.
See you, sweet. Hi, Bill.
It looks like we got some subs in there. Yeah, Billy gets into his work, I ain't gonna lie.
Like a troll.
He got a little pad to lay on there. Look at that. He got a little pad. We'll zoom in. Look. Got his elbows all comfy. I can't tell what he's doing, but he's he got a fan over here. Tell you what, some people are just too bougie. I don't have all that comfort when I get in my Jeep and work on stuff. Now that we got Billy out of the way, let me see what's going on in here. We got 8 of them in, or well, he's got 8 of them in. I ain't got nothing, 'cause I ain't been out here helping today. But I figured I'd come film for y'all. He should have all these like the rest of the way in today, actually. So I don't know if I'm gonna stick around for all of it, but hey, we're trying to see what's going on, you know. But yeah, it's looking good so far. He has been busy. I mean, he's got his battery in. He ran out of heat shrink. But yeah, I mean, but he's got the battery. The amps are all in and hooked up. He's already got his strapping stuff in there. Got his fuse holders in. I mean, he's been doing some work since last weekend. I'm just waiting on him to get all them subs in there. He ain't giving me a whole lot of footage to film today. But look how fancy he gets with all his little... Look at this. He gets so fancy with everything. I don't get that fancy. But then again, I don't have this much room back here. If I had this much room, I would try to get a little fancier, but it is what it is, guys. All right, so we did sub prepping. I had to get 2 down, the last 2. We got them open and prepped. We got the jumper wires already on them. So all we waiting on now, Billy gonna get these last 4 stuck in. And we might actually just get to hear a little bit of turn on. Maybe, I don't know, but this is a nice little build he got going. Damn, it's dark. You can't see nothing in there. But right now there are 12 mounted, I think. I think there is. Yep, there is. There's 12 mounted. So these are the last 4 going in. And I already showed y'all the back. We'll take a peek again. He tries to do everything so nice. If you're wondering what the hell this C-Max cell was for, he got them in 8s. So there's 8 subs on that wire, 8 subs on this one, because, you know, we strap basically like 2 amps. So we were using this for the pop test to make sure the back 8 all moved up instead of like 7 of them up and 1 down. So we did the old pop test. So after we get these 8 in, we got to do pop test again. But yeah, we might actually get to hear a little bit, just a wee bit today. Hopefully. Billy in here funky. He got some Skechers on. Hell yeah. I'm old school.
Sketches.
Yeah, I'm the odd man. I got them Vans on. Billy wearing that damn Team G2 shirt. All right, guys, I'll be back. So, we learned something. Always do your little bump test, because we got the last 8 hooked up, and we got wires backward. This causing 3 of them that when we hook these up, all the subs should come up. Out of the last 8, 3 of them were going down. And he had bolted in 4, and then the front 4 wasn't bolted down yet. So he's having to go to the first one in that series of the 3, pull it, and flop the wires around. So, yeah. But that's why you do a bump test before you put all of them in. And they wasn't all, the last one wasn't in and they wasn't bolted down, which makes it kind of easier to pull apart. But we definitely had a uh-oh moment there. I'm just glad we found it before, you know, everything was bolted in, the amps were hooked up, and he did like a test, because it would have been bad with them 3 pulling down while the rest of them were coming up. That's going to cost you a lot of wind and a lot of sound. And, you know, we're just doing it with a C-Max cell, which is 3.7 volt. Actually, this is only 3.6. Okay, it's been sitting a couple years. But, guys, you can do that little bump test with like a 9-volt battery. I have literally taken the battery off my drill, my 24-volt drill. And I've done the bump test with it on mids and all kind of stuff. But, you gotta think, these amps, you know, they put out AC power, but you set the gains over 100 volt. So 24 volt, like if you use a drill battery, 24 volt ain't gonna do a whole lot. You know, it would be the equivalent of maybe a couple thousand watts, maybe at the most. But since it's DC, it's only gonna move the sub one direction. So, you know, I've used my drill battery before, and you don't like stick it on and do it constantly. You just like tap one of the connections, and it's going to tell you which way they move. But yeah, anyway, that's where we're at now. We thought we were ready to bolt the last sub in and hook these up to the amplifiers and maybe do a little test, but we back to waiting. So hopefully he can get this squared away, figure out what's going on, and then we'll do another little bump test, see, make sure they're all right, and maybe hear something. Uh-oh, he's got things out. But all right, guys, I'll be back. We'll figure out what's going on in here. All right, it's dark in here, but all 16 are mounted. We pop test them, they all move in the same direction, so we're good on that. Now we just gotta get Mr. Staples here to wire them to them power makers there and just do a little test to see what it does. And I think that's what we're fixing to do right now. That was first turn on. Couple of little video clips there of first turn on. He didn't reset the gains because he was already at the same ohm load before and everything, so he knew the amps gonna be clean there. And he was like way from normal demo volume on the head unit. Like, he was barely turning it up, barely rolling the knob up, and it's like stupid windy already. So yeah, that's a crap load of cone area. I'm glad I came out because, like I said, some of you guys were asking for some footage of the old F-160 here, and we got it, and we got that first turn on, you know, so I was the right place, the right time. So yeah, now we just got to see what tomorrow holds, because we're kind of finished up with here for today. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'll find something to work on though, I'm sure. But this turned out to be a good video after all, something more than a door hinge replacement. So, well, it is Monday. I had to haul off a bunch of cardboard. I am a Amazon shopaholic, I guess you could say that. But I get a lot of things on Amazon, and there was just so much cardboard, like soda cartons and Amazon boxes, and the occasional, you know, G2 box, you know, from stuff from Car Audio. So I spent my morning getting my trailer cleaned off and hauling stuff to the recycling center. So I haven't really done much video this morning, and I got something to do this afternoon, and the wife was like, hey, let's take the Blazer out so I can do some hair trick videos and stuff. And I'm like, cool. So we go out, and well, things happened. Things got out of control. Things died. So that's kind of where we're at. We're back home now, but Blazer was beating good. I mean, it was ripping my hat off and everything. And then there was a rattle. A rattle I couldn't pinpoint, really. I crawled in the enclosure. I checked all the bracing to make sure that wasn't rattling. The rear hatch was rattling. I opened the rear hatch up. It ain't going to rattle if it's up, right? We know this door handle here rattles. I just haven't had a chance to put a new one on it yet. And I won't till after Ruckus, because after Ruckus is when I'm going to build new doors for that thing. And A-pillar pods and stuff. But, yeah, that's where we're at. Like, there was a bad rattle. I couldn't figure it out. So I climb an enclosure and I start pressing on subwoofers. And I found one that didn't press down really clean. It actually felt like it had some coil rub. What are you going to do at that point? I wasn't 100% sure that was sub, but I was kind of sure. And if you've ever been in that scenario, there's nothing you can do. If a sub's rattling, that sub's already gone. So don't sweat it, because there's nothing you can do. I mean, what are you going to do, baby it? When we gave it any volume, the rattle was there. No matter what frequency we was playing, the rattle was there. But the wife, being, you know, diehard basshead that she is, she's like, what the hell? And what's bad is these Synergies had been pretty stinky from the time we had put them in. They're just like that. They're just one of them subs, I found out, you know, that just stink for the longest time of playing them. There are many sub brands that do that. You know, you turn them up and they'll get smelly. You turn them down. The bad thing is, I checked temp on them and they never was hot. Like, they just got smelly. Today, playing it, telling the wife, well, hell, give it full knob. You know, they sounded clean. There was like no loading issue, no nothing. After a few songs of playing, you know, we was keeping voltage good and everything, they stopped smelling. Like, they wasn't getting smelly anymore at all, which was amazing. I'm going to tell you guys up front, a sure way to tell things, if you get subs and you've had them in a little while and they're still getting stinky, just keep playing them and keep an eye on them. You'll know if they're getting too hot. They'll actually puff out a little smoke. The Genesis that are in my Jeep right now, 4 of them, had been to that point before. They had been to the point of getting smelly, and I kept playing them, and I kept my light in the enclosure. I look back, and they're huffing a little smoke. I told y'all before how to take care of that. You turn the volume down on about 20 hertz and roll that bass knob up, and that'll cool them off pretty quick. But hell, the whole point is the Synergy stopped stinking. And then the rattle showed up. They never smoked, like not once, ever. But it is what it is, guys. That passenger side back sub, Deb was a trooper. I mean, she knew she knew the sub was bad. So she just kept, you know, bumping songs, shooting videos, and it let out some magic fire. The sub actually like started not smoking, but sparking. Now, the weird thing is that sub still plays. Like, it plays, but we know it's bad. One, it was rattling to death, and number 2, it let out some sparks. So Deb finally really, like, honestly and truthfully sent her first sub. Like, way back in the day, when we had the DS18 hooligans in there, one of them just died. Like, it never popped, rattled, or nothing. That damn thing just died. I was checking ohm on them one day, and there was nothing. Like, the sub was like throwing a weird ohm load. And one coil in it was good, and one coil in it was like totally dead. So that's how we kind of knew that things were south with that sub. But we never got the pleasure of blowing it. The front porch, UPS guy. Yeah, Deb like never really got to experience losing a sub like that. Yeah, one DS18 hooligan just kind of like, one of the coils in it went bad. It happens, I guess, you know. But this one, it finally threw sparks. So right now we got like the Blazer with, it ain't playing. Me and Diz is rattling to death. I don't want her to play it any further because the coil, if it shorts, which obviously it was shortened at that point, but it could take an amplifier with it. And I don't want that to happen. So, you know, we're going to leave it where it's at. But a lot of times the amp will protect, or a lot of times the amp will go. We're just hoping that none of that happened, you know, that everything's still good. I think it is. But now I have decisions. We got to talk to Synergy and see if they can help us out with a sub before Ruckus. If not, I'm going to put the Team G2s in it. If we can't get another WFO15, I'm going to stick the Team G2 Genesis in there. I have 4 of them. You know, we put 2 of them in the wife's white car, the little Edge. I still got 2 in my tool room here just sitting. So I figured the best thing to do would be to stick them in there because, you know, I have 415s as a backup, and that's kind of why I held on to them, so they would be a backup. Because you never know what's going to happen, you know. Subs blow, subs blow. It's always good to have a backup. But I'm going to get this damn video, like, done, over with, edited. I'm going to put demo footage in there from playing in the Weiss Blazer. A couple of little video clips that I shot today. But it was nice. It was the best it ever sounded and the windiest it's ever been. And things happen. But anyway, guys, peace out. And as always, you know what Jerry says? Bass on.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the